when I worked in banking, I was busy. I had busy jobs, and they were senior jobs, so I didn't have the luxury of just being able to sort of necessarily dive out and do something or whatever. I had to be there. So what it meant was that with home life, particularly with farm and that got sort of shoved very much into weekends, and late at night when I'd get home, I'd dash out and do something. So I was organised, I had to be organised. But since coming into or taking on the gym's business, I am busy, I'm very busy, but I feel that I've got more control of being able to structure my day the way I want it to be. So the biggest surprise for me in starting the business was actually how quickly I found myself thoroughly enjoying my day. That was actually the biggest surprise. But what I mean by that is the work was different, totally different to anything I'd done. So there was new learning, there was the new challenge of the fact that I'd taken on a business that was probably at best a part-time business. And I had a goal that it was going to become very definitely a full-time business, and how quickly I started to acquire clients, and how quickly I started to get comfortable with pricing jobs and quoting on jobs and things that I'd never ever done in my entire life. So that was the surprise. The surprise was just how quickly I loved what I was doing.
Well, Tony told me that he was looking to buy a Jim's mowing franchise, and my first reaction was, well, how does that make any money? That's not going to pay the bills. So Tony looked into it and he spoke to Gary a number of times, so I was very interested to hear how he was going to make this work. And one Friday night we got Gary to come round to the house so I could ask him a lot of questions, and I had a lot of questions. So Gary was really good, and he's a sucker for a good cup of tea. So he came round and he answered all my questions, and I felt quite confident that this could work. He went over a number of statistics and things with us and how the jobs actually work, and I felt quite confident that this could be a goer.
In terms of pricing of agreements, I mean, obviously pricings are going to depend upon the nature of the business that you buy. Whether or not you're buying a brand new franchise and starting from scratch, or whether or not you're buying an existing franchise. So we were buying an existing franchise. So ours was a little more expensive because obviously it came with an existing client base. But if I look back now, 2.5 years down the track, in terms of cost versus what we get out of that business now, very reasonably priced, very reasonably priced. What I also love about the fact is that with gyms, which is relatively unique by franchise standards, your franchise fee is set. It's a one-off. It's a set fee. It's not scaled as part of your. They don't take a percentage of your income or whatever. You pay a flat fee. Now, what I love about that is that it means that if I choose to expand that business to the point where I actually put somebody else on the road in my area, I'll pay no more franchise fee for that person than what I pay now. So I can grow my business very well without actually incurring an awful lot more cost. So I think they're extremely reasonable in that respect. Gyms, there's no doubt about it, I find that the gym's name helps. It opens the door. It opens the door because it is a name that people are familiar with. Thankfully, because you've got that sort of visibility behind, because the gear is relatively distinctive as well. It opens the door, at least people think, oh yes. From what I've tended to perceive, people think professional, and they do actually tend to think are going to be expensive. And to be honest, both of those are actually really good attributes to have, because you want clients to be thinking, well, I've got the professional operation here. It's not just any Tom, Dick and Harry. And so once again, from my perspective, particularly having come from corporate world, where corporate also, that sort of thing is very, very important, it resonates beautifully with me. So the biggest reward would be the fact that I'm totally in control of my own destiny now. What happens within that business really does fit fair and square on my shoulders. That degree of responsibility and that degree of control, I absolutely love. I was so missing that in my previous life. I would find Sunday nights, I was sort of thinking, oh Lord, here we go, another 5 days. I would think Sunday night now, oh yep, I know where I'm off tomorrow. Wonder what else we're going to pick up on the way. So anyone who's thinking of starting a Jim's Mowing franchise, I would say definitely investigate it. Don't sort of sit there and think, oh maybe, what if? You've got to investigate it. Do your homework. You want to make sure that you're thoroughly comfortable with what you're doing, but speaking personally and speaking for ourselves, it's a great opportunity, and I would take it with both hands again.